Whether you're ordering wings for the game, whipping up a 7-layer dip, or ordering pizza, there's something about football that makes you want to eat. And this football season, Uber Eats has the best deals on game day food. No matter what you're craving, from 2-for-1 pizza to buy one, get one wings, Uber Eats will be dropping new deals each week, all season long. Uber Eats, official on-demand delivery partner of the NFL. Order now. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details.
This episode is brought to you by Unstoppable. Discover the inspiring true story about Anthony Robles, who defied every expectation to become a national wrestling champion in Unstoppable, a new original movie from Amazon MGM Studios and director William Goldenberg, evoking the excitement and camaraderie of classic sports dramas and thrilling wrestling matches. Unstoppable features an all-star ensemble cast, including Jarrell Jerome, Jennifer Lopez, Don Cheadle, Michael Pena, and Bobby Cannavale. Watch Unstoppable now, exclusively on Amazon Prime Video.
Now tuned into the greatest.
The Run with Manny Wilson podcast.
The Run with Manny Wilson podcast.
The best sports podcast there is.
Yes, sir. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to The Run with me, Manny Wilson, all the way from Detroit to Chicago to your speakers and headphones. I appreciate you tuning in to the first interactive sports podcast. You know, a community that makes sure your voice is heard. So, of course, if you have something to say, you want to go ahead and leave a quick take, shoot us a quick call, 219-413-9405. And, of course, you know, we'll play your take back on our next episode. And then shout out to SeatGeek for sponsoring this episode. Get $20 off your first ticket purchase when you use the promo code The Run Podcast. Now, this code can only be applied with first-time users on the mobile app or website. So I don't know about you, but definitely some basketball still going on in the NBA. So go ahead, go to a game, man, and use that promo code to save yourself $20. It's not too late. Anyway, man, hey, I'm happy I'm on the pod. So happy I'm finally able to record, man. Today has just been one of those days. Now, we're going to touch on the divisional round and everything first. But, of course, I got to go ahead and give a quick breakdown of myself, man. It's been one of them damn days, bro. You know, just every little thing is just working your nerve. You know, thing after thing. And as soon as you start feeling a little bit better, it's just one more thing. Just continue to reignite the flame of what you were already going through. So, man, it's one of them days. But anyway, I'm excited. Glad to be on a pod. You almost didn't get this pod, as a matter of fact, because, again, one of those days. But, man, look, let's kick it into gear. I don't like to be, you know, a negative Nelly or whatever you want to call it, a Daryl the Downer. I don't be trying to be all that when I'm on the pod, man. You know, it's fun. It's fun. It's sports. It's supposed to be fun. We're supposed to have a great time, enjoy it. So let's do that. Let's get into it, man. Look, the first things first, you got to know what happened, man. That divisional round of the playoffs happened, and teams got eliminated. Teams got the boot. Crazy enough, a lot of teams we thought was going to win ended up losing. But I got a stat for you as we jump into the division round of the playoffs. Look, man, out of all the teams that won, out of all the teams that lost, each team that won in that divisional round, they had 0 turnovers. So this just goes to show turnovers is always going to be key, especially in close matchups. So the Chiefs had 0 turnovers, the Bills had 0 turnovers, the Commanders had 0 turnovers, and the Philadelphia Eagles had 0 turnovers. Like, could you imagine all of these games if teams played a clean game without turning the ball over? I mean, a lot of the reasons that we've seen teams lose was because of turnovers. Like, I'm going to jump on this Lions game, and this is the game I really wanted to talk about anyway. The Lions, they lost to the Commanders, 42-31. This caught me by surprise. I damn sure didn't think the Commanders was going to go out there and put BTA to the Lions at Ford Field in Detroit. Oh, hell no. Hell no. Ain't no telling. I don't care what anybody would have told me. It's no way I would have believed it. But man, the Lions, it was just crazy because I think it caught everybody by surprise. The Lions literally couldn't have asked for a better situation, having home field advantage, going against a rookie quarterback at home. You finished in a first seed, and I mean, you couldn't have asked for a better situation. You played the lowest seed that was there. You had a rookie quarterback. You were at home field advantage. Like, man, I was mind blown. And then I was even more mind blown with the Detroit Lions in this game. with the way the game plan was constructed. Yeah, I mean, you think the Lions getting a week off, they would come back sharp, they would come back focused, they would come back just clicking on all cylinders, and that was not what we seen. From the offensive end, Ben Johnson, I love him as an offensive coordinator, and shout out to the Chicago Bears. We'll touch on that in just a second later on in the show, but I love Ben Johnson as an offensive coordinator, but he even has some questionable calls there. Aaron Glenn on the defensive coordinator side, like his play calling was wild because I'm seeing you blitz time after time. You're blitzing in man, and you cannot get Jayden Daniels, and it kept getting worse and worse every time you tried to send a blitz toward Jayden Daniels. He continued to make you pay for it, but what did you do? This was the one time I praised you before about how Aaron Glenn is great at making adjustments, but this was the one time I didn't see him make an adjustment in terms of stopping blitzing or in terms of stop blitzing Jayden Daniels. Like, man, I just couldn't believe it. I could not believe that they continued to do the same thing that was hurting them from the start of the game. And then not even a focus on things that was hurting them, because things that was really hurting them was the turnovers. I mean, hey, everybody, all of Detroit right now, all of Detroit, you have to hear me and hear me clearly when I say this. I don't ever want to hear no Jared Goff chants. I know, look, y'all was Jared Goff at Lions games, at Tigers games. Lions games is acceptable, but all that Jared Goff chanting at the Lions games and the Pistons games and the Red Wings games, hey man, cut that out. That's disrespectful to the teams that was there, and all them Jared Goff chants. I'm curious, are y'all still gonna be chanting Jared Goff, Jared Goff, Jared Goff? I want to know. Because the man's have 3 interceptions. I think it was 4 total. 4, no, he had a fumble, or it was something, but they had 5 total turnovers. Jared Goff threw 3 interceptions, and it just wasn't cute at all, bro. Like, my man's looked like Kirk Cousins 2.0, and y'all sitting here talking about we want Jared Goff over Lamar Jackson, we want Jared Goff over any other quarterback in the NFL. Seriously. And you still think you won the Stafford trade? Still. Stafford done went on to win a Super Bowl. Stafford done been back to the playoffs. I mean, he put up a damn good fight against the Eagles. The dice just didn't happen to roll their way. Eagles is a damn solid team. But just, I mean, hey, man, it's a lot of different factors that went into this. So, I mean, I just want to know, are y'all still going to be chanting Jared Goff, Jared Goff, Jared Goff? Because that's ridiculous. And watching him, I know, the teammates and everybody is doing the right thing of saying, oh, no, it wasn't Jared Goff's fault. That's what you're supposed to say, first and foremost. That's what you're supposed to say after you lose a big game. You ain't supposed to leave none of your teammates out there on a cliff alone and all of that. But let's be real. Even though the players can't say this because they got to support their teammate, let's be real. The Lions lost, damn it, that was on Jared Goff. Let's be honest. That was on Jared Goff. Ain't no reason he should have been throwing like he was. I mean, I know he got hit hard, but damn it, when he got back up and was out there throwing the passes, he looked like Tua Tagovailoa fresh off of a concussion. Because I didn't know who the hell he was throwing the ball to. And then Ben Johnson must have got hit too, because for him, with the game on the line, to say, hey, J-Mo, we gonna have you air it out and this is gonna work, what the hell was he thinking? He must have got hit too, and we just ain't see it on camera. Because that was definitely not something that I expected from Ben Johnson, a guy who we considered a guru all season, cooking up the way he was cooking on the offensive end. Oh, no, that's crazy. That was crazy. So I was shocked, man. And Lions, I really feel like they got a little rattled as they continued on through the game, just because they were trailing by 10 points a large majority of the game. And I think they got rattled. As time went on, you could tell they were just like kind of struggling, trying to strike fast, and it ended up coming back around and biting them in the butt. So, I mean, you got to give credit to Jayden Daniels and that Cliff Kingsbury offense, man. I didn't have much faith in them. I didn't know what they was going to do. I didn't think they even had a chance going into Detroit, especially considering Lions have such a great rushing offense and the Commanders had such a terrible rushing defense. Like, I didn't get it. I didn't get it. Lions did not run the ball as much as they should have. Like, they could have easily walked them down, but they tried so hard to get everything back right away. And it didn't work out. Didn't work out for the Detroit Lions. And, man, you got to give credit to the Commanders. Jayden Daniels put on a performance. I think it's clear now that Jayden Daniels has given us the best rookie season that we've all witnessed. I don't think anyone is coming close. I mean, seeing this dude play, his composure, obviously that's a huge thing, but I just think that's who he is as a person, just a laid back, cool, like type of dude. That's what it seems to be. But watching him in that Lions, reading the defenses, making the simple throws, making the accurate throws. Oh my gosh. When I seen that boy throw that ball, when I see him throw that ball, if you know what I'm talking about with like the Adrian Peterson meme, when I see him throw that ball, to Brown, oh my gosh. Must have threw like a 50-yard pass. And Diami Brown, however you pronounce his name, man, when I tell you he ain't even had to do anything extra to catch this pass, bro, literally just had to, like he couldn't even see. It just, as long as he had his hands out, the ball was right there. It was beautiful. He just, right there. That was just such a beautiful throw from Jayden Daniels. And when I seen him throw that ball, I was like, oh yeah, this kid is the real deal. I thought it was fluke when he beat the Falcons at the end of the season to secure the playoff spot. I thought it was fluke when he beat the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And when I was watching against the Lions, damn it, Jayden Daniels proved me he really might just be that dude, bro. Like I've been kind of thinking he was fluke, and I've been waiting to see the big decline and the big drop off from the end of the season that he's been playing at such a high level. I've been waiting to see the downfall, but damn it, he's been continuing to prove me wrong every single Sunday. And when he went to Ford Field and just did the Lions like how he did them, whoo-wee. Oh man, that was rough. But y'all know why they said the Lions lost though, right? I'm gonna say this and then I'm out of here. Y'all know why they said the Lions lost, right? Because word on the street is Lions is becoming too similar to the Eagles fans. That's why the Lions lost. A word on the street, allegedly. I didn't make this up. They saying Lions fans is becoming Eagles fans now. You know, always running their mouth, you know, they just don't know how to calm down. Like, just, hey, man, humble yourself a little bit. They say that's why the Lions lost, man, because, you know, they got a little too airheaded and head became a little too inflated. Lions had to stay humble. And I mean, hey, welcome to the offseason, Detroit Lions. Welcome to the offseason. That's all I can tell you. Last year, you got booted from the playoffs, blowing a 17-point lead against the 49ers. And then this season, number 1 seed, you had a rookie quarterback kick you out the playoffs. 6th seed kick you out the playoffs. Crazy. Welcome to the offseason, Detroit Lions. All right, look, man, we got some more stuff coming up in just a sec. Some news for the run. We're going to recap some of the other playoff games that happened. And then, obviously, some crazy coaching changes. The Chicago Bears is in that news. And then you also got the Atlanta Falcons. They picked up a new coach as well. So we'll touch on all of these things in just a sec. But hang tight. We'll be right back. It's halftime.
Flex your business with an American Express Business Gold Card. You'll earn 4 times membership rewards points on your top 2 eligible spending categories, like transit and electronics, each month, on up to $150K in combined purchases per year. Plus, you can now earn 3 times membership rewards points on flights and prepaid hotels booked on AmexTravel.com. Terms and points cap apply. Learn more at AmericanExpress.com/business-gold. Amex Business Gold, built for business by American Express.
This episode is brought to you by Allstate. Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first. Like you know to check the date of the big game first before you accidentally buy tickets on your 20th wedding anniversary and have to spend the next 20 years of your marriage making up for it. Yeah, checking first is smart. So check Allstate first for a quote that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Northbrook, Illinois.
All right, man, so I got some news for the run here, and this news is going to be slightly different than typically. So typically, we have the news, and it's just given straight day-to-day, like what's going on, everything in the NFL, NBA. But this is just going to be kind of a game recap from all the games that happened in the division round. So in the division round, man, obviously to start off, you had the Chiefs and the Texans. I thought it was a great game. A lot of people is going to tell you the refs cheated for the Chiefs and stuff, but that really wasn't even the case, man. I think you got to kind of ignore that. I feel like every time at this point, whenever the Chiefs win, people are automatically just saying, hey, the referees cheated, whether they even watched the game or not. And I know there was maybe 1 or 2 controversial calls, but there was no call that was just evident and gave the Chiefs a clear advantage to win that game. Like, there wasn't no crazy missed PI calls or crazy missed holding calls or holding calls that could help the Chiefs on a game-winning drive. It was nothing to that extent. Anything that happens in the first half that was like, okay, they capitalized on a 4th down or something. I mean, I can accept that type of stuff of like, yeah, it's swaying the game, but there's going to be bad calls. And Chiefs wasn't the only team that got hit with some bad calls. Texans also caught up on some bad calls that helped them out as well. But again, there was nothing that was just like a game-defying call that was missed or that was called in that game. So people they gonna run their mouth about the referees helping the Chiefs, and the referees has helped the Chiefs a lot during the regular season, but this definitely wasn't one of those games where it was defined by a referee. Nah. Shout out to the Chiefs winning though, man. I hope they three-peat. Still need to see Pat Mahomes make this history. I know some of y'all sick about that, but man, hey, this is the only time. Like, this is the only time we'll even be able to see someone three-peat. So let's see it, bro. Like, I think it's just dope to be able to go back and 10 years, 29 years from now, when people bring up the three-peat, you get to say you lived it. You watched it happen. You watched the dominant era of Patrick Mahomes win 3 championships back-to-back and just have a full grasp on the NFL. So, I mean, hey, I think it's dope, and I hope he get it done. Anyway, look, man, so congrats to the Kansas City Chiefs, taking care of business. They're advancing to the conference championship in the AFC. Now, the Commanders and the Lions, I just told you about that one. The Commanders ended up beating the Lions 45-31, and that was just a crazy game, man. Wonderful performance from the Commanders offense, and even the defense tried to step up a little bit. But shout out to the offense really for going toe-to-toe with the Detroit Lions. I did not think they could do it. Many other people did not think they could do it, and I don't think anybody outside of Commanders fans even had faith that they could do it. And some Commanders fans probably didn't even have faith that they could beat the Detroit Lions, honestly. But congrats to them. Shout out to the Commanders for getting that done, going to the conference championship. Now, the Eagles and the Rams, that game was solid, man. Eagles, they just continue to prove that they're a well-rounded team. Like, damn. Eagles are well-rounded as hell. You can talk about them as much as you want, saying, oh, well, they can't do anything without running the ball, or the Eagles can't win without doing it. They can't win without that. They can't, like, you can do all of that talking at the end of the day, but the Eagles have continued to prove all through the season that they can beat you in multiple ways, whether that's handing the ball off to Saquon Barkley, whether that's the defense stepping up and getting stops, whether that's Jalen Hurts even throwing passes to get his team in great field position, kicking field goals, or actually running it in himself. So the Eagles have continuously showed everybody that they can beat you in multiple ways. And honestly, man, this is a very dangerous team. And Eagles, Eagles versus Commanders is going to be a good win. Eagles split this during the regular season against the Commanders. They won one and lost one. So it'll be interesting to see the Eagles defense go against a top-tier offense, or I guess they're a top-tier offense now in the Commanders. So we'll see, man. It's going to be interesting, but I think the Eagles definitely going to take a trip to the Super Bowl this season. All right, so congrats to them. Shout out to the Eagles getting that done, 28-22 over the Rams. And then the Ravens and the Bills. Oh, this was a heartbreaker. It just, look, I wasn't even going for the Ravens. I picked the Ravens to win, but I just wanted to see a good football game. So I wasn't really going for the Ravens. It was just tough, man. It was tough. But the turnovers will do it every single time. Teams cannot turn the ball over in these close type of matchups. Lamar Jackson turned the ball over far too much. So regardless of however you want to blame Mark Andrews for his drop at the end of the game, you take away those turnovers, we could have looked at a different ball game. There's something that could have been done earlier in the game that could have prevented that situation from even happening. But I will say one thing I did like about this Ravens and Bills games is the Ravens, they did adjust on the offensive end. We tried to see them go toe-to-toe with slinging a rock, throwing it in the air, and then they went back to square one. They said, you know what, in that third quarter, they said, hey, we got a great run game, so let's keep the ball on the ground and let's run it up. And that's eventually how they walked themselves back into this game. I wish I could have seen the Detroit Lions walk themselves back into the game, similar to how the Baltimore Ravens did in that Bills matchup, by putting the ball on the ground and realizing you have the advantage running the ball over this team. But the Ravens did it, came down to a close game. The Detroit Lions did not do that. They continued to try and air it out and let J-Mo throw the ball. Don't know why, but hey, man, that's how it turned out. But shout out to the Bills. The Bills are going and play the Chiefs. Another rematch of the AFC Championship. Man, this is going to be a crazy, crazy game. Chiefs, man, they're what, 3-0? 3-0 over the Bills in championship, in the playoffs? So, Bills are 0-3 against the Chiefs in this Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes era. So, it's going to be crazy, man. Very interesting.
This episode is brought to you by Amazon. Sometimes the most painful part of getting sick is the getting better part. Waiting on hold for an appointment, sitting in crowded waiting rooms, standing in line at the pharmacy. That's painful. Amazon One Medical and Amazon Pharmacy remove those painful parts of getting better with things like 24/7 virtual visits and prescriptions delivered to your door. Thanks to Amazon Pharmacy and Amazon One Medical, healthcare just got less painful.
Anyway, look, man, let's jump into something else because we got some other news here, man. The Chicago Bears is in the news. This is breaking news that actually happened, man. So the Chicago Bears, they recently just hired the offensive coordinator, Ben Johnson from the Detroit Lions. Crazy, crazy pickup here for the Chicago Bears, naming a new head coach in Ben Johnson, who is most known for his role as the offensive coordinator with the Detroit Lions. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, I love this move. I absolutely love this move for Ben Johnson. I love this move for the Chicago Bears. I think this is a great situation for both of them. Ben Johnson, there was a lot of rumors of him possibly going to play for the Raiders, the Patriots, the Jets, all over the NFL because obviously he was a top priority, but the Chicago Bears is a perfect situation for Ben Johnson, and this is exactly why. Because one, the Chicago Bears, they got crazy amount of salary cap right now. They got a crazy amount of cash to spend in free agency and to bring talent there. They're top 5 in cap space right now. So not only do you already have a lot of talent on that team with DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Caleb Williams, Swift, you got a lot of offensive firepower over there, but also you got the cap space to bring in more talent if you want to. And then to bring in more talent on the defensive end like you're gonna need to do. So I'm happy for Ben Johnson that he's with a team with great talent, salary cap, a top 10 pick in the draft. The only thing that concerns me about Ben Johnson going with the Bears is that it's the Chicago Bears, and we know what the Chicago Bears can do is just find a way to ruin anything that's a good situation. Like I mentioned, you got all these things rolling for you. Top 10 draft pick, you got money to spend going into free agency, you got great talent that's already there on the offensive end to let Ben Johnson cook up. But the thing is, man, I just don't know what it is about the Chicago Bears. They just find ways to ruin things, and man, I'm hoping for their sake that this is a situation that is completely different. I'm hoping for their sake Ben Johnson becomes the savior of the Chicago Bears and really helps them out. I've seen them struggle all year long under Eberflus, and there was multiple games they could have won, but coaches didn't like to call timeouts. The play call was awful. I think Caleb Williams got fed a lot of different bad things that didn't really help his game. And now that he's with a guy like Ben Johnson, who can probably simplify the game a little bit for him, I think he'll be beneficial. But I'm just hoping that they actually show out. I'm happy for him. It's an amazing situation from this standpoint. And I think that this is all up for the Chicago Bears. Now, another coaching change that I am very excited about because this is my team here, the Atlanta Falcons. So they hired Jeff Ulbrich as their defensive coordinator. They finally got the guy who I thought was already going to be, the defensive coordinator from day one. I mean, as soon as I finally seen the Falcons interview defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich, I just knew it was going to be straight. I'm like, all right, they got it. He secured it. Now, the thing is, I love this hire, but a lot of other Falcons fans don't, and I do not understand why they don't like this. I've heard some things. So the main thing that I've heard is we've already been through this. We don't need to go through the same coaching staff as 2020. And let me just please, bro, listen to me, and let me just break this down in a way like that's going to hopefully, change your mind or just hopefully open an eye to the new perspective of guys being here. So I get nobody on the Atlanta Falcons fan base wanted to see a reuniting coaching staff from 2020. But also, bro, you got to remember, when you step in the middle of the season Like, it's completely different from already being there. You already established a new culture yourself, and then you also have a better pool of talent players-wise. Like, you have a better pool of players there right now than what you had back in 2020. Like, at least I think so when I'm going at the list of who was on that roster at the time. And then the thing is, you keep talking about, oh, well, 2020, we already seen Raheem Morris and Jeff Ulbrich as the defensive coordinator. They didn't really have success. It was 4-7, I believe, as the interim stage in 2020. But the thing is, bro, a lot of y'all not realizing that was 5 years from now. In that time span of when Raheem Morris was gone after 2020 and Jeff Ulbrich was gone after 2020, you got to realize Raheem Morris went on to win a Super Bowl. That's experience there for people to look at and for people to utilize. You got to realize Jeff Ulbrich, he had a top 5 defense 3 or 4 years he was gone. And yes, some people might say, oh, well, that was all Robert Saleh. You know, it was just him. It was him calling the plays. That had nothing to do with Jeff Ulbrich. Okay, first off, I'm not going to say that. And even if that was the case where it was Robert Saleh calling the plays, you don't think Jeff Ulbrich learned anything from that situation? I disagree that it was Saleh calling the plays, but I'm just saying, even if that was the case, he still had to have learned something under great leadership that was helping him perfect that defensive side. So bringing him there with Raheem Morris, who was already a great defensive coordinator in itself, who helped the Rams win a championship and got key game-winning stops when he was with the Rams as the defensive coordinator, pairing Jeff Ulbrich with already a great defensive coordinator, you don't think that's going to be somewhat beneficial? And then I'm going to even go a step further. A lot of people talk about, oh, well, the past of 2020. Look, man, last year, Raheem Morris won 8 games with Jimmy Lake as the defensive coordinator. It seriously cannot get worse. From what I witnessed with Jimmy Lake's schemes, I doubt that Jeff Ulbrich has anything worse than what Jimmy Lake was cooking up. And you know what? I'm happy Raheem Morris brought his buddy, because sometimes when you got friends there, you can talk to your friends a little different. You can say, hey, tighten the up. And then your friend might understand, like, all right, let me get it together. But when you got new guys there who you never had a relationship with, then it might start off a little rocky. That we might see something like Jimmy Lake, where it's like, okay, I'm trying to give you a chance, but you're not doing it right. Whereas if it's your friend, you can say, hey, look, bro, you got one shot to get this right. And if you mess up, you got to be gone, because my ass is on the line. So I'm okay with Raheem Morris bringing the whole buddy thing. I think it's like, you know, it is what it is. 90% of the NFL are all friends and coaching staff and all of that stuff. You don't think Ben Johnson is going to bring anybody he doesn't know or hasn't played with or coached with? Like, you don't think he's going to do that? You know, like, man, that's just how this league has been going on, and that's how this league has been working for years. Especially now that we see a lot of former players turning to coaches. They're all bringing in old teammates. They're all bringing in old coaching staff and buddies that they know are good at their job. That's what we've been seeing forever, since we started seeing this whole player coach type of thing. So I'm not upset about it, man. I'm happy that these guys get to run it back and have full control and can start it from day one and build a culture from day one, rather than just picking up in the middle of the season. I highly doubt the Falcons to get any worse than what they were last year. And that's the biggest bright side to me, because I'm like, as long as they improve, as long as Jeff Ulbrich is throwing great schemes out there, and I'm cool. I'm content. I'm content. I have no problem with the same 2020 staff. As long as they can win, then I'm cool. Yeah, man, I don't know. Falcons fans just, some Falcons fans just, I swear, man, they the most unhappy fan base. Like, they gonna complain about anything. I seen a tweet, and I can 1000% agree with it. I feel like Falcons fans, if Jesus himself said, I'm gonna come down and be the defensive coordinator, the Falcons fans would still be like, oh, damn it, why do we have this guy? I just know, man, I don't know what is up with Falcons fans hating every single move that is made within the organization. I know everything's not perfect, but damn, can you be a little optimistic? Like, bro. I mean, you got a coach that won a Super Bowl. You got a defensive coordinator that, you know, was a top 5 defense, regardless of who you said was calling the plays. That's still experience that he can learn from, bro. Like, damn, be optimistic. Say they gonna win more than 8 games. Say they gonna actually be better on the defensive end. Like, damn, bro. Come on, man. So I tell you, Falcons fans, bro, they complain about every damn thing, man. Like, come on, y'all. Be happy for a change. Damn. Be happy we ain't got Desmond Ridder. Shit. All right, anyway, look, man, I'm going to leave y'all with this. That's all I got. First off, that's all I got. So I appreciate that. I'm going to leave y'all with a positive note, man. And a positive note, really, really simple. It's just, falling back is progress. It's just all about perspective. And that just means, bro, like, you might be working towards your goal and you see a setback, but just know the setback is a new experience that you haven't seen before. Like, if you wasn't trying at all, you would have never even experienced that setback. 5 years ago, you may not have seen that setback. So it's like, sometimes the setback is just another way of thinking, like, hey, I'm a step closer than what I was before, because before I didn't even have this opportunity to fail. And now I'm getting closer and closer because, like, now I'm getting the opportunity to fail. So, you got to really think about it, but accept it however you want to accept it, man. Falling back is progress. It's all about perspective. I'm going to leave it at that. Other than that, man, look, I appreciate you for kicking it with me, hanging with us. Shoot us a quick take. Of course, 219-413-9405. I appreciate it. Send us to a cousin, a brother, an aunt, an uncle, a niece, a nephew, coworker, spouse, anybody you know, man. I appreciate it. And then, look, man, we'll be back later on next week, or later on this week, actually. We'll talk more about the NFL and also college football, too. But we'll be back later on this week. And so on and so on and so on.
These are violent criminals, so they're not going to go down easy.
ABC Tuesdays.
Let's get this done.
The Rookie is back.
We have 2 new rookies starting today.
Howdy.
Being a cop is stressful 24/7. Every year on the job is different.
And training day.
We have a serial killer at large.
Never ends.
We need an ambulance!
The Rookie. All new Tuesdays on ABC and stream on Hulu.